A Sam the Eagle production. What to do about it? I don't know. Wet yourself? Cry? Worked for me. Look at me. I'm a success story. Director of forensics. Wait, isn't that about, like, crime scene investigating?
This is the strange story of Fred Strong, a normal, happy man who usually enjoys life.
Thanks to
He's
Tuck's
someone you know,
medicated
perhaps
pads.
Someone like yourself. But suddenly, without warning,
A lone
comes
gunman.
face to face with one of life's problems.
ED.
A new one for him. The high-powered chairman of the local luncheon club asks him to speak at a club meeting. Who, me? Asks Fred. Oh, no, I'm not much of a speech maker.
Not
The
since
club
the
man
Japs
is
cut my tongue
persistent.
out in the war.
Sure you can do it, he says. We want to hear all about your trip to Alaska. Fred's protests are to no avail. We'll count on you for next Thursday, says the club man.
Hey, that's not
And
nice. He
he's
has a
gone.
club foot.
Fred, whether he likes it or not, is committed to make a speech. Fred's trapped. He feels
Diarrhea.
as if he just
It's like a
agreed to
storm
make a
raging
parachute
inside
jump
him.
Or ride a rocket to the moon. And this is just the beginning. For Fred is on his way to all the terror, all the worry, all the pain of an ailment commonly known as
AIDS.
stage fright.
Oh.
As time passes,
I'm Ed Bradley,
Thursday
I'm Steve Prof,
approaches,
I'm Leslie Stahl.
Fred will be jolted from his reading by the awful
I think I
recollection
hate Ted
that
Koppel.
D-Day is near. His deepest slumbers may be interrupted by the harrowing thought of what's to come.
His wife?
And even food is hard to force into a stomach.
Mainly
Feels
because
as if
it's
it were
supposed to
loaded
go
with
through the
hot
mouth
bricks.
first. Oh, Godfather,
sir.
what am I gonna do?
Freddy
What
is
am I gonna
scared.
do?
Just plain scared. And on the day of the speech,
This means
he's
something.
really a sight.
This is important.
The Toastmaster gives a glowing account of Fred's experience as a traveler and of his upstanding qualities as a man. He
Of the wife he
mentions how
cheated
Fred
on and
is
the kids he
considered a
never
leader of
sees.
the community and how proud he is to introduce him. But
When the
look at
president
Fred.
does it, it's
He's
not a
even
crime.
sure he can stand up.
I'm sorry,
let alone
folks, that's the
walk to
worst
the
Nixon in
rostrum.
history.
He's trembling and weak in every joint. His feet are cold.
Apparently he has to pee really bad.
His hands are hot and shaky.
Not even doing the whole ass in the shower trick with the spoon
And
is
Fred
calming him
wishes
down.
he were someplace else. Diagnosis?
Murder.
Stage fright. Yes, and
Ugh.
Fred's ailment is common to you. To you.
The living dead.
And to you.
Yeah, I get very
Yes,
scared
you've
one time in
all had
Stuttgart.
stage fright, and you know how bad it can be. But what can you do about it?
Kill
First,
yourself?
You must recognize stage fright for what it is. Stage fright is fear. And what are you afraid of?
Balloon animals.
Are you afraid someone in your audience will stand up and take a pot shot at you?
With a silent recoil-free gun.
Are you afraid there will be a snake on the stage?
That Jake Roberts will crash your wedding?
Or that you will fall off the platform?
Into another dimension,
Oh,
apparently.
You're afraid of what people will say and think about
I don't
you
think he took
if you
industrial
stand
arts.
before them. You're afraid of their ridicule. You're afraid they'll
Diabolic.
see your faults and your shortcomings. Because the thing you're really afraid of is yourself.
Is forced perspective.
You're afraid of faults that are products of your imagination. When you get up to speak,
Riddle
will
me
you
this,
say the right
Batman.
thing, the thing you mean to say? Will you make grammatical errors? Will you mispronounce words?
Will you
look
collapse into
all
a
right
ball,
to your
sucking your
audience?
thumb and soiling yourself?
Will you forget? Will you be able to speak at all? Let's see what can be done to help you conquer stage fright. We'll go back to Fred at the time he was notified that he would speak on Thursday.
On Wednesday.
The minute Fred found he was elected to speak, he
He
became a
wondered
little
why he didn't
frightened.
even realize he'd been running.
Perfectly natural reaction. So Fred should have begun to say to himself,
Ah!
well, they want me to speak at the luncheon club. Quite an honor. They must think I'm really somebody.
But don't
Fred
kid
is
yourself,
building
you
up
suck.
his self-confidence. Next, Fred carefully plans his speech.
And make
so
sure
that when
you know your
Thursday
audience.
comes,
The
you'll be
Columbiates
absolutely
love dirty
certain of what
limericks.
he will say
And
to
the
the luncheon
Rotarians
club.
are fond of ethnic
He
jokes.
writes down his ideas. He's
Don't
laying the stepping
shave
stones of his talk by
knuckles
using facts,
ever.
examples, stories, illustrations, reasons, and conclusions that will make up his speech.
Oh, and also, you'll need paper.
By putting it down in black and white, Fred is sure he has something important to say,
About
He
segregation?
knows where he is going. When the essential
To the
points of his
can.
speech have been outlined, Fred may try it out, just to be sure.
A new farmer's
He
helper named
imagines he's in
Cole
front of the luncheon
accidentally
club
was
and
milking
is
a
making
bull.
his opening remarks. Again, he assures himself that he is confident and that the members of the club want him to speak.
Also, he assures
By
himself his
practicing
suit jacket
speech,
is not too
He is
big.
taking an important step that will help him control stage fright. Now, to be sure of his appearance,
Fred's a
Fred
dope.
has his suit pressed and decides exactly what he will wear the day he speaks.
He settles on
Perhaps
his
Fred's not the
SS
best
uniform.
speaker in the world, but he certainly won't leave himself open to ridicule because of the way he looks.
Oh,
Good
Fred, I'm
appearance is
sorry.
most
That
important
ship set
in making
sail
a good
years
speech,
ago.
because your audience will judge you partly on your appearance.
They're judging
If
him.
you
Oh, he's
know
speaking
you
to an
look
audience
good
of
to your
Catholics.
audience, you will feel good, another help in controlling your fear. Even
So the
such a
rabbit
small
goes
thing
over
as
the
wearing your favorite
stump
tie
and through the
can have
hole
an
and
effect on your
around
mental
the
attitude.
stump again
And
and
so,
through the
on
hole
your
and
speech.
up with the thing and goes
So you
around
see, in
and goes
preparing
and thing
himself
and
for
he
the
goes and
speech,
climbs
Fred has
up the
accomplished
tree.
the one thing
Yay.
that will help him most in controlling stage fright and mastering his fear.
The drinking
He
problem?
has built up his self-confidence. He has done this by convincing himself that he's to be the honored guest at the luncheon club. That
Believe
by
me,
his
this took a
achievements, he has
lot of
earned the
work.
right to speak. He has planned his speech and practiced it so he knows exactly what he will say. And
Fred
finally,
stinks.
he has made sure of his personal appearance. Now let's see what happens at the luncheon
President
club this
Kennedy
time.
won't be speaking at our
Again,
lunch
the chairman
today.
of the club describes Fred's exploits in the Alaskan wilds and welcomes Fred to the group. This time, the words of praise do not fall on deaf ears.
Except for
Fred
Marley
is
Matlin in the front
prepared
row.
and confident. The fear that Fred experiences now is
He's
good
related mostly to the gunman
because
who has
he
kidnapped his entire
control of
family.
it. It's nature's way of keeping the body and mind sharp and alert.
Oh, cocaine.
Yes, Fred is alert. And instead of a growing fear, he's ready and eager to get into his speech.
And if that's not the very face of eagerness, I don't know what is.
The introduction completed. Fred walks to the speaker's position with confidence. And although his legs may be a little shaky, he
And there's a
starts
brown
his
stain
talk
on the
with
back
the
of his
same
pants.
forceful words he planned in his office.
I
He
intend
speaks
to
with a
set
full,
up
strong
a 1,000-year
voice,
Reich,
stands
and anyone who
straight and
supports me in
tall.
battle.
Fred's smart enough to know that his talk will not interest everyone.
Or
so
anyone.
he picks out the sympathetic faces in his audience.
And when he can't find
and
them.
talks to them. He picks out the friendly faces
The senile faces.
and pays no attention to the unfriendly ones.
The other senile faces.
Fred is determined
Is
not
he
to
sitting
let
Indian
little
style on the
mistakes bother
podium?
him. Now he's lost his place. Is his audience uncomfortable and embarrassed for him?
Well, no more
Not
now
in
than
the
when he
least.
first went up there.
He has made them see the humor in the situation. They're on his side.
Not really.
As Fred continues speaking, he thinks of what he says, not how he says it. And so, in making a good speech, Fred has raised himself in the estimation of his friends and neighbors. More than
But
that,
from where he was
he
before,
has
there's
raised
really
himself
nowhere to
in
go
his
but up.
own estimation. He feels more qualities of leadership and accomplishment than he has ever felt before. He is proud of his ability to overcome the
sad,
fear
pathetic
that would
son of a
hinder his
bastard.
speech. Yes, Fred's talk is a success.
And his
Fred's
shirt is
success
soaked.
can be your success.
If the price is
You
right.
can learn to master your fears about yourself. You can learn to control stage fright and make it work for you.
Cover girl.
Just remember how Fred prepared himself by convincing himself that people wanted him to speak.
Now, this
by
is a lie,
preparing
but
his
run with it.
speech and practicing it. By creating confidence in himself. Fred did it. You
Fred
can do it.
sucks. It's a miracle that the communists didn't eat us alive. I hate Fred. Very Incredible Movie Theater 4. Comprehensive rehabilitation care for over 30 years.